I'm Andrew, and I'm setting out to make better videos for diesel enthusiasts. Follow along as I review products, do how-tos, and share my personal trucks here on Just Diesels. Hey guys, what's up? Andrew with Just Diesels, and today we are back with a video that actually a bunch of you guys have been asking about for a while, and it's a video that I've filmed before, but I felt like was worth revisiting because things have changed. And so today we're going to be talking about how to find cheap vehicles online. Obviously, in this channel specifically, we're usually looking for diesel trucks, but this is going to apply to anything. And I'm going to kind of break this down into a couple different categories. We're going to do first my favorite way to find just very cheap vehicles, used and usually from private sellers. Next, for those of you guys that are looking for newer vehicles or vehicles from dealers, my favorite search tools to do that. And then finally, just kind of some general tips on how to track down vehicles, my tips and tricks of things that I've learned over the years. For me, I have an absolute obsession with the hunt for finding the perfect vehicle. That's half the fun of it for me. And so if you guys notice, I have a bunch of very low mileage, very clean diesels. Half of that is just because I love the thrill of chasing these down, going to different states, doing what it takes to make it happen. So let's dive into this. So start out with, if you were just looking for a great way to find the best truck for the lowest price, there's a couple different tools and strategies that I like to use. So to start with, if you're looking for cost effective, I always like to buy from a private seller. One, you can kind of get creative with tax, but two, usually people will just charge less if it's a private seller. If it's a dealer, there's going to be a markup of some sort. There's going to be fees associated, all that kind of stuff. So it's usually better to just buy from a private seller. The other thing with private sellers is that you get a little bit better idea of the vehicle's history, ownership, who had it, kind of how they took care of it, things like that. So if you're looking for private seller vehicles, there's a couple different apps that I like to use. Obviously, you can do it the hard way. You can just go on Facebook, right? So Facebook Marketplace has, at this point in time, kind of the most vehicles, but it's also the most cumbersome to search. I hate this app in terms of searching, but you can find some awesome stuff at very, very, very reasonable prices on here. So not exactly the most convenient, but you can have some great searching. The issue with Facebook is that people tend to mislist things very commonly. So you have to be very creative with your search terms to track down the stuff that you're actually looking for. So for example, instead of searching, if I'm looking for a third gen, instead of looking for third gen or 2006 Ram 2500, I'll usually type in Dodge Diesel 4x4, something like that, and then maybe filter by years. You have to get very creative with what you're searching. A lot of times Facebook, their actual search algorithm is really poor. So if you type in diesel, it'll actually pull up people that are saying this truck is not a diesel, but because the word diesel is in the ad, it pops up as diesel. So you got to have your patience with this one, but you do get rewarded for your work. Now, if you're not looking to do it the hard way and do it on Facebook, another app that I really like to use is called C+ for Craigslist. Now, Craigslist listings have way dropped down, and Craigslist, just in terms of like usership, has dropped way down, but that's an awesome way to find really good deals because there's less people on that app now. So everyone's on Facebook. You can actually track down some great stuff on Craigslist. So there's an app called C+ for Craigslist. This allows you to search nationally. So with typical Craigslist, you're limited. With this, you can actually search nationally. You can put in different criteria, and you can actually sort by ads that were posted today, ads that were posted recently. Now, the API for this is a little bit broken, so you will see stuff that is old. So you, again, do have to put some work into it, but I love this app for tracking down deals. Right now, this is kind of a very hidden, cool tool to track down awesome deals on stuff. Everyone's on Facebook, so if you're on Craigslist looking, you're gonna have a lot less competition. That's kind of what it comes down to these days. Another weird little tip and trick for finding these trucks from private sellers is actually going on Facebook groups. Strictly G56, a couple different other groups for like third gens, things like that. A lot of these specialty groups have a lot of people that list their trucks for sale, and I've seen some amazing deal pop up in there. So that's actually a super useful tool, first gens, things like that. If you get in those groups, I absolutely despise those groups. They're terrible, but a lot of times there's some really great trucks that get posted for sale for very reasonable prices. So keep an eye out on those. Next up, if you were looking for a truck from a dealership, let's say you're looking for something new, let's say you need to finance and it's just way more convenient to go through a dealership, hands down, the best tool to use is Cars.com. So Cars.com has an app, you can download that on your phone, and this is the best filtering, the best searching that I have found on any car app. I actually just found my wife a car on this app. I just found myself a commuter on this app. It is fantastic if you're looking to go through a dealer and you're planning to finance the car basically, because it's way more convenient to do that through a dealership. Now on this app, you can basically search all the basic criteria you want. But what's really cool about this app is outside of being able to search nationally, which I highly recommend, you can also sort by a couple different criteria. So you can search for clean title, you can search for no accident, you can also search for best deal. So you can actually, they sort by deal rating, so they'll compare the asking price against the Kelley Blue Book of that vehicle and give you a general idea of how much below market value that vehicle is priced. You can then also sort by lowest cost. So if you're searching by best deal and lowest cost, you can ensure that you're getting a car that's below book value and you're actually getting a car that is one of the cheapest in the country. So that is a very, very good tool to use. If you're looking for brand new vehicles, if you're looking for anything like newer, or honestly, like I found a really clean truck on Cars.com not that long ago for a buddy as well. So it's just a really good tool if you're looking to buy from dealerships. Now I say from dealerships because 99% of vehicles on this app are listed by dealerships. There's not that many private sellers that sell on here. If they do, awesome, but most of the time I find that these are going to be dealerships. So expect to pay a little bit more than you would from a private seller, but you're going to get access to easy financing, all the perks of a dealership, things like that. Now, finally, one app I want to talk about is Autotempest. Autotempest is a tool that basically conglomerates everything into one search engine. So they have a mobile app, and it will literally allow you to search Craigslist, Facebook, AutoTrader, Cars.com, eBay, you name it, all in one app. Now, this does make it very overwhelming, but this can be a good tool if you're just trying to do a wide cast net, try and catch as many things as possible. You got to put in some time on this one because you're just sifting through a ton of listings, but you're also sifting through a ton of listings within one app. So this is a great tool. It's not typically my favorite just because it can be so overwhelming, but at the same time, if you're trying to cast a wide net and get something that's really rare, this is the easiest way to do it because you can basically search on every single platform all in one. Now, with the hard logistics of that kind of stuff out of the way, I do want to say just a couple things about searching for these trucks or just vehicles in general. In my 2 cents, you have to be very clever and creative. There are a lot of people out there looking for these vehicles, especially more so than ever right now. And there's also a lot of dealerships that are using software-based programs to actually do exactly what you're doing, but do it a lot more effectively. So Gateway Car Connection, NJ Truck King, those guys actually have software built that's looking for these vehicles. So it's very hard to compete with them. You got to be fast and you got to be ready to go. So if you're looking at one of these vehicles, make sure that you are actually ready to go. If you're paying cash, you have that cash on hand. If you're financing, make sure you have that ready to go. But make sure you're ready to jump because people are quick. You got to be fast to get these good deals, and you got to be fast to get these good trucks. And you have to put in the work. Most people are not willing to put in the level of work that it takes to track down a 40,000-mile really cheap truck, right? People are willing to have the convenience of going to a dealership. People are willing to look for a couple days. But if you really want to track down a very low-priced, very rare vehicle, you got to be looking multiple times a day, really putting in the hours and work to find stuff that's actually quality. So while these apps will help, there is no good way to replace hard work. And that's, to me, that's what I've learned over the years of looking. You have to really enjoy the thrill of the hunt. But if you do that, you'll find that there's these tools that you can use to actually make it a lot easier on yourself, and you will track down your dream truck, I promise. So hopefully that helps you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below, ask me, but this is my tips and tricks from looking for these trucks. I love doing it. It's super fun to me. Hopefully you guys enjoy it too. But hopefully this helps you guys kind of know what tools to use and everything to go after. So thanks so much for watching.